Ambassador, thank you for inviting us to your home on this 250th Independence Day.
It's going to be a great day. It is a great day already.
It's amazing, and I read your statement today about the 250th, and I thought that's an incredible amount of time. Empires have risen and fallen. The Soviet Empire, the British Empire, the Ottoman Empire.
The Dutch Empire.
How is it that the American Republic has outlasted all these other mighty countries?
Well, I mean, that's something we recognize, from the initial days. It's an experiment, okay? We don't derive our powers from a king. We derive our powers from God. They're given to the people, and then the people decide exactly what powers they're going to give to government. And there's nothing better than, in America, we are endowed by our Creator, right? We're endowed by our Creator. We're created in the image of God. Unleash the potential of individuals, and we will be amazed at what will happen. And I think as long as we keep that spirit alive of freedom for individuals and the primacy of individuals over government, we're going to be just fine.
Tell me a little bit more about the American Constitution. Canadians, I don't think, know a lot about our own Constitution, whereas I think Americans really know the Bill of Rights and the First Amendment, the Second Amendment. How important is the U.S. Constitution to actual daily life in America?
Well, remember, we're not celebrating the Constitution today. Today, we're celebrating the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence, where we said, this is what we're going to do. And then we listed a long list of grievances that we had with the king. Mm-hmm. And at the end, it said, for all of these reasons, so long, we're going to declare independence. And then, it took us a while. We went through the Articles of Confederation, and then we developed the Constitution that we live by today. But, specifically outlines what the role of the federal government is, what rights are reserved to the states, what rights are reserved to individuals. And, we adjudicate, contests, challenges to that through the Supreme Court. And we've added on, I don't know, we're somewhere in the mid-20s in terms of the constitutional amendments that we've added, recognizing that first document wasn't perfect. And we get new challenges, we get new opportunities, and we update it all the time. But yeah, we have a frame of reference that tells us how we are going to live and work together.
One thing that I've seen lately is a lot of America haters, foreign dictators, people who say death to America. Their own children or family members choose to live in America or go to school in America. What does it say that America haters maybe actually in some weird way love aspects of it?
Well, what we find is that the concept of freedom, okay, the concept of, and some people I'm sure in Canada will disagree with it and around the world, but the concept of goodness of America. And, my parents were liberated by the Canadians, literally, but they recognized that liberation and the rebuilding of Europe was an effort that America played a strong part of. And so when in 1956 they decided that they were going to look for opportunity for their family, for their kids, they chose to come to the United States of America. So the people like what, let's put it this way. We are a welcoming country to people who aspire to value the things that we value. And my parents, when they came to the United States, was, we're going to become Americans. Okay, we're moving to America, we're going to become Americans. I know that, I talked to certain ethnic groups when I've been in Europe, and I was amazed. They were third, fourth generation coming from, another country and coming into, in this case, the Netherlands. And I would ask them, do you guys consider yourselves Dutch or something else? And they would say the something else. I said, what do you mean? I said, you've been here for 4 generations. And it's kind of, oh yeah, but we still consider that home. Some cases they can actually still vote there and those types of things. But, the the concept of America is when you come to America, to be an American. Sure, I'm an American Dutchman, right? Or a Dutch American. So we've always valued the heritage of being Dutch, but we've never doubted the premise that we are Americans. And so when I went back to the Netherlands, people said, "Isn't it great that you're home?" And I said, "No, we're proud of the fact that, I was born in the Netherlands, but America is home."
I want to ask you why. I was looking at tech companies. Elon Musk's SpaceX went public, a huge valuation. But all the tech companies, Apple, Nvidia, all the big social media platforms, they're not in Europe. They're not in Japan, China, Korea, even though those countries are advanced in some ways. Why are all the entrepreneurs, the innovators, I mean, why are they all in America? Or not all, but 90%.
We reward risk taking. Okay, so I mean, yeah, you take a look at Elon Musk, you take a look at the digital companies, and all of these things. All these people started with an idea. We built up ecosystems. Okay, I mean, the whole digital world. There was a huge ecosystem in the Bay Area, San Francisco, and those types of things. And we did we were part of a conference in the Netherlands a few years ago, and one of the things that came out is that for these types of other countries don't create those ecosystems. It's a combination of really smart people, really bright people, people willing to take a risk and create companies, combining with, in most cases, combining with universities, right? And so you got business community, you've got entrepreneurs, you've got really bright, creating this ecosystem and fostering and growing this idea to become something way beyond what most of us average people ever thought was going to be possible and we could ever envision. And but it's the ecosystem, and it's the financial system. It's the risk and reward. Us rewarding people who are saying, this is a really smart guy. This Ezra, he's a really smart guy. But we're going to put some money behind him.
I think there's something you left out, and I think it's because you assume it, because it's like the background wallpaper to you, and you don't think about it, and that is freedom.
Sure.
Freedom, property rights, rule of law. No one's going to steal your stuff. There is money in China. There are entrepreneurial-minded people, but if they get offside, it'll be taken by the government. Freedom of speech. I think that your answer was an excellent answer, but it took everything else for granted, didn't it? Because you lived that.
You shouldn't take anything for granted. And the nice thing is I get to talk to a lot of smart people like you and say, "Hey, Ambassador, that's only partially."
No, I'm saying that, like, for an American, you assume the rule of law, which you can't necessarily do in other. And as an American, you assume free speech. You can't really do that in the UK or Canada anymore.
I will not comment on the UK or Canada. You almost got me there, but it's kind of like, no, I ain't going there. It's the 4th of July. We're celebrating America. The Prime Minister put out a great statement. The city of Ottawa raised our flag this morning. That was a great, that was a very nice gesture by them. I was on Parliament Hill today. The changing of the guard, got this awesome band that is playing there. They played the national anthem. So no bash in Canada today.
Of all the days, not today.
Yes.
About 50 years ago, there was a radio host named Gordon Sinclair, and he did a radio broadcast saying everyone picks on America in Canada. Everyone criticizes them, but they're the ones who send aid when there's an earthquake on the other side of the world. And he gave sort of a love letter to America, and it really resonated. What is it about Americans that, America doesn't want an empire, doesn't want to be the world's cop. But you know what? It's always the Americans there to pick up the pieces on the other side of the world. Just, a lot of politicians talk, but what is it about Americans that make them charitable to foreigners like that?
Well, I think it's a recognition. When we say we're endowed by our Creator, all right, that means that everybody in the world is endowed by their Creator, by who we believe is the Creator, which changes the dynamic between you and me. I lived this at Herman Miller. Okay, we were taught servant leadership as part of the leadership structure at Herman Miller. It was our responsibility to discover in the people that work for us the God-given talents that they have and allow those things to, come to the surface. It was never, now you're a manufacturing guy. Just go work at that machine. It's kind of like get to know these people, know what you're a man. What other interests do you have in all of these kinds of things? Because there might be a whole lot of other ways that you can contribute to the success of the country, and you will be, happier in the work, more satisfied in this relationship that we have in the company. So it's my job to discover those skills and help them flourish. And so, the Americans, along with the Canadians, came to the rescue of the Dutch in World War II. There are Commonwealth graves all over the Netherlands, in the United States graves. They're all in one place called Margraten. Awesome, beautiful cemetery. Every single one of those graves is adopted by a Dutch family in gratitude to the sacrifices that America made. But I can tell you that on July 1, the Dutch go out and they celebrate Canada Day in a big way because they're also very appreciative to what the Canadians did. A queen was born here, and they say on Canadian soil. No, it was not Canadian soil. The Canadians gave it to the Netherlands for a day or whatever, so the future queen could be born on sovereign Dutch soil, surrounded by Canadians.
And of course, the tulips every year, an annual gift. I appreciate you giving me time, especially right before your big bash here. It's nice to be invited. What message would you have for Canadians on how to strengthen the relationship between our two countries? Because there's been some stress over the last year. I've seen a flourishing of anti-Americanism that I do not like. And I can only imagine how painful it is to be you and to face that anti-Americanism. What's your hope or advice for the year ahead?
I think our best days can be ahead of us. I'm not guaranteeing that. I know they are for the United States. Okay, we're it's America first. That's the direction we're going to go. We know what we need to do to stay strong, to bring prosperity, safety, and security to the American people. That's the mission that Donald Trump has put us on. We think that Canada can play a strong role in bringing prosperity, safety, and security to both sides of the border. We've demonstrated that over the last 20 or 30 years. If you want to reassess the relationship with the United States, whether it's the economic relationship, whether it is the military relationship, you're more than welcome to do that. I mean, that's what sovereign countries do. If you pick a path that aligns with the United States, you're very, very welcome. We look forward to that partnership and building on all of the success that we've done over the last number of years. If you decide to go in a different direction, we wish you all of the best. That's not where we want you to go, but we recognize that is a debate that Canada is having as to whether there's a rupture, which means you have to look for new economic partners at the expense of the United States, that you're going to do defense on your own. Those are hard. Those are hard. But if that's the direction we want to go, we recognize that that's a decision that you can make.
Well, I hope that the two countries continue more than friends, almost like brothers.
It's hard to put it into a family relationship. I won't go there, but families are tough.
Yeah, that's true.
But in terms of economic defense, security, and all of those types of things, there are a lot of things that we can do much better, and we would be stronger together than separate. We've proven that in the past. That's our hope for the future.
Thanks a million for having us here today, and congratulations.
Hey, great. Thank you. Thanks for being here.
My pleasure.